As president, I will not cut one penny from Social Security or Medicare. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a beautiful car, and a home.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. Tariff is a tax on a foreign country. Energy is going down. I see that we had a couple of states where gasoline was at $1.98 a gallon.
All right, time to see the update of the house. Whoa, oh my God. Golly, what the helly? What the helly? Nothing's even built. And where's the guys? No one's here. This is unacceptable. I'm calling the boss.
Hey, what's up, Chad?
Hey, Bob, guess what? I show up to the site. Not only is the house not built, but there's no guys. What the hell happened here?
You didn't hear? We got raided yesterday. ICE took them all, man.
The raids? We got raided yesterday? But I thought they were only going for criminals. These are hardworking men right here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, now if I go hire somebody else, this house is gonna be built in the next 4 years. Those guys were fast and sharp. They would have had this house built in a month. Probably even sooner. No way. We gotta get them out. We gotta get them out. I'm gonna go get them out.
Well, yippee-ki-yay, let's get them.
Buckle up, folks. The MAGA dream of America First has slammed into a wall of reality, and it's a doozy. Construction sites silent, homes unfinished, and businesses crumbling, all because the very policies MAGA voters cheered for, mass deportations, slashed funding, are now biting them where it hurts. These clips, raw with frustration and mostly from women, spilled the truth. They backed Trump, but didn't expect the fallout to hit them. Let's dive into this mess, poke at their blind spots, and drop some real-world fixes to rebuild from the rubble.
Let's get into these ICE raids real quick, specifically the ones around like on the construction site. Let's talk about the difference between employing and contracting with someone. If you employ someone, they're under you, like they deserve benefits and all of that stuff. If you contract with someone, that means you give them the job and you say, hey Juan, this house needs a roof. How much will you charge me to get this roof on my house? And Juan says, I'll charge you $8,000. Instead of saying, hey Juan, I need this roof on this house and I'm paying you $22 an hour to do it. You can contract with an illegal alien if they have an I-10 number. The government set it up that way so that they can work here and they can pay taxes here, which feed into our benefits. The government gave them this number. The I-10 number works very similar to a social security number. It doesn't do everything, but it does a lot. It opens bank accounts. Sometimes you can get loans. You can get credit cards. You can get like insurance on your cars, but no one's talking about this. It doesn't fall back on the companies. They're probably not employing these people. They're probably contracting with these people.
So anyway, if you want to have a conversation about condos or about single-family homes in Florida, give me a call because I have 20 years licensed. I'm 21 years this year actually, licensed real estate agent. I also invest. I have a bunch of rentals. I manage properties. So you you have questions, give me a call. Be glad to talk to you. 941-888-SOLD. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey y'all, look how lazy we are in America. Now they got all the illegals out, you got regular Americans doing construction work. And we're so damn lazy, we can't even pick up the bricks ourselves.
Woo! You guys want to take a break or no?
Wow. Where's the people? Silence. This is all because of the immigration law.
You know I love to see videos of white people failing to replace the lack of undocumented and immigrant labor. Apparently, these are people at a school switching over to construction because of the high demand.
Oof. Calling out lazy Americans misses the mark. But the empty sites? Real. MAGA's deportation votes cleared out skilled labor, leaving their own projects stalled. Train locals with quick trade programs, masonry, carpentry. I agree, labor's gone, so push apprenticeships and vote for policies that balance immigration with jobs.
Well. Florida homeowners' nightmare. Now, I don't know if you guys have been told, but in the past 6 months, there's a couple companies that have been filing for bankruptcy. Homeowners construction companies.
I know that we have lost a lot of our workers because of their hearing about these raids.
I don't know how any of you guys are going.
I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me.
I know that we have lost a lot of our workers because of their hearing about these raids. We have got some of them back, but we're now about half capacity, which basically hurts our work production. This particular job here is a huge job for the community. Well, the community's gonna miss out if we can't get it finished. And those raids happen a good bit away from here. There's a lot of closer jobs than this one, so I know they're all being affected as well.
Bankruptcy's hitting hard. MAGA's deportation cheers tanked their own workforce. They thought it only hit others. Recruit from job fairs, offer training incentives. I back your call out. Vote for immigration reform to keep projects moving, not stalled.
I mean, we have rights as a general contractor. You can't just storm my site, and that shouldn't be happening here. But when that unknown is factored in, I mean, we've heard horror stories of, they're detaining everyone.
Half capacity? That's rough. MAGA's raid-happy policies shocked their own voters. Partner with local trade schools for workers. Advocate for clear labor laws. I agree. Raids disrupt. Vote for policies protecting legit workers to finish those community builds.
I've worked international projects. I've worked regional projects. I'm a Trump supporter. I back him 100%, but I just feel like there has to be a more...
And it's very hard these days to get people to do construction. It's extremely hard. And they are willing to do it. The Hispanic descent, they basically are stepping up and will do some of the hard work. But I am a Trump supporter, like I said, and I do think there is a way to go about doing this, but I just don't think the...
Wow. Where's the people? Silence. This is all because of the immigration law.
It's Friday, 11:45 a.m. Ain't not one Mexican inside, not one food truck, no music, no tools going.
You backed Trump, but now see the labor gap. Tough pill. MAGA's mass deportation votes silence their own sites. Hire through community boards, offer bonuses. I support rethinking this. Vote for targeted immigration policies, not blanket raids.
The Hispanic workforce is pretty much gone out here.
Our workers, the Hispanics, they will be up there. They don't want this to get wet. All those houses are sold, getting wet more than they have to and getting destroyed by the humidity. Well, they pay for them already.
Usually these will be worked on every day in, day out. Ain't nobody working, not a soul.
Hey y'all, look how lazy we are in America. Now they got all the illegals out, you got regular Americans doing construction work. And we're so damn lazy we can't even pick up the bricks ourselves. They really got these suction machines to move the bricks around. It's gonna take them 10 years just to build one wall. And look, all the employees are using these machines.
So everyone's talking about the fact that the construction sites in Florida are empty after ICE did their big raid. They'll point out the fact that there's nobody there left working after all the immigrants.
Slow sites and machine reliance, brutal. MAGA's build the wall votes gutted their labor force. Fund training for locals, streamline hiring. I agree. This was self-inflicted. Vote for policies boosting skilled labor supply.
So apparently, Florida is in desperate need of construction workers. Imagine that. Yeah. So in the construction industry, they're having a hard time contracting workers. And these extreme temperatures that nobody wants to work in, they're having a hard time finding any gringo workers. But you all were out here complaining, hollering, deport, 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 and they're taking our jobs. And imagine a situation wherein Florida needs construction workers. Hello? Wake up, America. Where's our workers at? Where's these people that are needing all of these jobs? Because apparently there's some openings and there's not a wait list. Might want to go and apply.
Heat's no joke, but empty sites are worse. MAGA's deportation push left them high and dry. Offer shade, breaks, and higher pay to attract locals. I back your frustration. Vote for labor-friendly policies to rebuild your workforce.
If all the immigrant construction workers are being deported out of the state of Florida and hurricanes start hitting the state of Florida, who's going to be around to fix all of the damage that the hurricanes have created? And then we don't have any workers to actually help, fix all of the things that the hurricanes damaged. And by the way, we don't have FEMA anymore because it's been defunded and dismantled and has been deemed unnecessary. So we have immigrants and undocumented workers that are supposedly criminals that are showing up to work every single day, working 9 to 5, 7 to 7, 7 to 10 at night, working on construction sites trying to help build this country, and now they've been deported, so we don't have that labor force, which is about 60 to 70% in the state of Florida. And then on top of it, we won't actually have the emergency services like FEMA that actually helps finance and fix the things or fund the things that need to be fixed. So how's that all going to work? The labor force is gone, and we don't have FEMA to actually finance the repairs that need to be done. So we're going to have a whole bunch of people sitting around with holes in their roofs, ease down, and this, that, and the other because no one had any kind of forethought. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment and repost. Do you guys see what I'm talking about?
No workers, no FEMA. Disaster double whammy. MAGA's anti-immigrant votes left homes crumbling. Seek local relief funds. Hire from nearby states. I agree, this is a mess. Vote for disaster aid and practical immigration to recover.
You know I love to see videos of white people failing to replace the lack of undocumented and immigrant labor. Apparently, these are people at a school switching over to construction because of the high demand. And as people point out, look at them. They're inside with AC and no wind whatsoever. And also, look at how slow they're moving. I did not slow this down for comedic purposes at all. There's going to be a lot of overtime they're going to pay. Oh, Poindexter, no.
It's my opinion, but I feel like a lot of POCs who voted for Trump, they just knew that their situation was not going to change. Whether it was Biden, Harris, or Trump, it was going to be mass deportation. There's still going to be conflict in the Middle East. But I think the real reason why they voted for Trump is because they didn't want to see black people succeed. Again, this is just my opinion. They knew that their situation was not going to change no matter who the president was, but they felt like our situation would change if we had Harris. And I think a lot of them felt like no matter who they voted for, they were going to be voting against their rights. But if they could take black people down with them, they might as well vote for Trump, where both of us are going to be feeling the repercussions of it. Because they believe if they voted for Harris, just they will be feeling the repercussions of it. But now that Trump is in office and he virtually has not said anything about black people, they're pissed. Yes, they cut DEIs. And they was like, yay, what are black people going to do? And then they found out that the biggest recipients of DEI are white women. They threatened to cut food stamps, WIC, and Section 8. They were all happy because, oh my God, what are black people going to do? Again, they realized that we are not the biggest recipients of that. And now they're mad because a vote for him was a vote against us. And we're not being affected like they are, and they are upset about it. That's why it's all these videos trying to bait us into outrage or bait us into activism, because now they need us to work for them, even though they got in that booth and they actively voted against us. Now they're trying to fearmonger us with their fantasies, like she wants us to go back out in that field. That's why I made this video, because I want black people to stay on code. Don't be mad. Don't make 50 videos yelling at the camera about how she's wrong. Laugh at
Voting to own others but getting burned? Ouch. MAGA's misaimed cuts hit their own hardest. Educate on policy impacts. Join community aid groups. I agree, miscalculations hurt. Vote for inclusive policies, not divisive ones.
There's a Trumper in Tampa who owns a construction company called Honest Hammer, and he is all upset because his workforce is being deported. Now, he makes the claim, like a lot of Trumpers who actually get affected by this make, and that is, that's not what I voted for. This is not what I voted for. I voted to get out the criminals. No, this is exactly what you voted for, and now you're feeling regrets because you are personally being affected. You did not care who got wrapped up in a mass deportation. That's exactly what they told you at the RNC. Mass deportation. That's exactly what Donald Trump said over and over again, was
deport these people. He lumped them all together. There was never a bucket of criminals and everyone else. It was always an everyone else is a criminal. That's what it was, to brand every immigrant, legal or illegal, as a criminal. He did not care how hardworking these people were or how much they contributed to society, and neither did you, Honest Hammer. All you cared about was that these people got deported, and as long as you and your staff were safe because you thought maybe you could wield some influence as a white man, that you would be safe, well, guess what? You're not. And you are going to suffer the consequences of that. That's an FAFO, my friend. And it always takes until you get affected for you to understand the ramifications of your vote. So don't tell us that that's not what you voted for. That's exactly what you voted for. You just didn't think the consequences were going to come for you.
Honest Hammer's regret hits home. You voted for this. MAGA's criminal label swept up everyone, shocking supporters. Hire locally via job boards, train fast. I back the reality check. Vote for precise immigration laws, not broad sweeps.
I don't know if you guys... Well. Florida homeowners nightmare. Now, I don't know if you guys have been told, but in the past 6 months, there's a couple companies that have been filing for bankruptcy. Homeowners construction companies. And the following is Planet Signature Home, Vandervalet, Modern Builders, Inc., Division 3 by JP, Seminole in Lake Counties, Sunset Palms Condo Association, which has 267 units. They're also filing for bankruptcy. But why? Why? Because you have homeowners that are walking away from condo association. Back in April, many homeowners with unfinished projects, Pegasus Builders and South Florida Developer, also filed for Chapter 11, listing up to $10 million in debt and assets. You have condo homeowners who are walking away from their property. Between the assessment fees, homeowners insurance, and HOA association fees, they're done. It's cheaper to walk away. You're saying this in the past. The market is going to be impacted in a very huge way, and Florida's going to pay the price, bitches. Let's not even get into homeowners insurance. Why are we even paying insurance? A particular insurance by the name of Slide Insurance. That doesn't sound shady. These shady motherfuckers have paid both of their executives, which happen to be husband and wife, over $50.3 million in compensation. That is 10% of the company's entire revenue. But here's the fucking crazy part. That in the last 2 years for Hurricane Helene and Milton, they've denied over 50 and 60% of anybody's claims for a fucking hurricane. So why the fuck are we paying el ojo del culo for homeowners insurance to get fucking denied? But they ain't denying their executives. It all goes hand in hand. Everyone's filing for bankruptcy.
Bankruptcies and claim denials, brutal for homeowners. MAGA's deregulated insurance market burned their voters. Shop for better insurers. Join co-ops. I agree, it's a ripoff. Vote for consumer protections to stabilize housing.